Hello guys, welcome to another Donger deck discussion with me, Seth Holocron, from the EU Discord of the Dongers of Runeterra. And time to kind of take another character that isn't being used very often, or at all, or whatever, and try and make a deck based around him. So as you can see in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, we have a deck called Trevor Time, and it's this. It's the Snooze Bottom. Now, he's an interesting little character, and I was toying around with the idea of trying to put him into like some sort of Demacia or Targon deck, but then I went, wouldn't it be really bonkers putting this guy with Vi? Because, you know, we're the Dongers of Runeterra, Heimerdinger, Vi, turrets, the Dongers. Yep. So, we have made a deck. And by we, I mean me. So, here's the deck. It's called Trevor Time until I figure out something a hell of a lot better. I mean, it's probably better off being that. But then, you know, there is a lot of support in here. I'll have to figure out a different name. I'll probably come up with a better name by the end of the video. So, the whole idea of this deck is based around this. Welcome to Trevor, who looks, you know, utterly asleep, completely dead to the world. So, what's he doing? Okay, so he's a support character, and you create an attacking mumble sprite with my supported ally stats, because this is Elusive, which is great, and ephemeral, so it dies. And it's only when you're supporting on your attack, because that's how support works, do you get this. Now, can you imagine a level Vi, or even a 9-4 Vi, or a 9-1 Vi that's Elusive and smacking you for 9? That's better than playing the 6-1 Elusive unit in the new Targon Heimerdinger Donger deck. So, that's the premise. The premise is get Vi out, get Trevor Snooze Bottom out, hold off. This is like a mid-range sort of deck. It has enough little things to stop things. There's a lot of 2-ofs in here, as I can't quite figure out how to run 3s in this. That kind of makes me feel good. So, can we support things off? What can grow and get bigger and bigger? So let's go through the deck, and I'll tell you why the cards are in the deck, and you can tell me if this is any good or not in the pinned comments on YouTube, or come and join us at the Dongers of Runeterra Discord. All the links and the deck code will be in the bottom underneath this video. So, Flower Child, anytime it's supported, grant me +2. So this can get out of control real fast. Real fast. Especially if you have a lot of supports, and we have a lot of supports in here. So you'll be wanting to get this up to like a 5-2 or a 7-2 and start needing dealt with quite quickly. It's cheap. It's a 1 cost for 1-2. You know, you would put this down on 1 and not do anything really, and then try and get some sort of better idea. So we're running 15 spells and 25 units, and our thing isn't bad. You know, we've nothing over 5 mana, so it's cheap to play all this, and we'll just have to see how we get on. I'm running 1 picks as it's another support, so I think we're going to have to call this Trevor's Supports, or Support Trevor. Let's call it Support Trevor, shall we? And this gives my supported ally +2/1 this round, which is fantastic to put onto Trevor, as he is 0-3 and is quite easily killed. So we want things to kind of make sure that Trevor stays alive and all that sort of stuff. And we have lots of little tricks, hence why there's going to be an awful lot of 2s in this deck, as you can see here. So let's go back up here again. I really like this card, which has disappeared almost from competitive play altogether. This is the Champunk Pickpocket. Try saying that after a 6-pack of Guinness or half a thing of vodka. Nexus Strike it. create in hand an exact copy of a random spell from the enemy's deck. Chances of you getting it, not great, but it's a 3/2 unit for 2 mana, and that's beefy. That's quite good and will play out the early game rounds 1 through 3, and then mid game 4 to 6, and then 7 onwards is the late game. So decent. If you can actually get this out on 2 and you're attacking on 2 and they haven't played anything at all, because say they've bricked out or they don't run a 1-drop, they'll pass, you pass, or you can play this, and then play this and just smash it straight in there, and you will take an exact copy of a random spell from their deck. So it doesn't take the card, but it puts it in your hand, which could be brilliant, especially if you're up against like Targon and all these things that will have like Hushes and Pale Cascades and all that other sort of really good quality stuff that is in there. So that is why the Chimpunk Pickpocket is a 3 of. Same with Flower Child, as it can get really decently big. We're sort of half going the elusive route in this as well, because bearing in mind, please, I know I said it earlier, this is an elusive unit, can only be blocked by elusives. So let's try and make other things elusive to kind of ruin the game up. This is a support. This is the Intrepid Mariner. Give my supported ally elusive this round. Really good late game. We're only running 2 of it. It's got terrible stats by itself, but to be able to put something out that's huge, which we have later on, is pretty decent. And again, makes that ally elusive this round. So if you've got a 6/4 Vi coming out, that's pretty damn decent. So make that elusive, fire it out. If you're supporting it with Trevor, then there's another 6/4 unit coming out, and you've just done 12 damage by round 6 or whatever, if you've had Vi in hand. We're in PNZ, so it's 3 Mystic Shots. That will start taking things off the board. Problem things that are about to kill you, and the fast thing is excellent. And then we're running 3 of those, 2 Notifies, which is a pretty much standard if you're in Ionia at the minute. Most people run 3. It only stops a fast or a slow spell that costs 3 or less. But this is, I mean, think of the meta. Think Lee Sin, think Zenith, think anything at all that is slow, that is kind of going to slow things down. This will slow down Swain TF. This will slow down a lot of things, because no, you're not going to now hit me for 4 because I'm damaged or stunned. No, you will not do that. This also cancels off somebody else's Notify, so be very careful about when you play it. We're also going for 2 Young Witches, who's a 1/1 elusive. She's also support, which is give my supported ally quick attack and +1 this round, which can be fantastic with challengers, but that's not really why we're here. I didn't actually want to put her in the deck, but I think a 2 of is quite good, because we're we're a low cost deck in mana. We can play and curve really easily. Your hand doesn't break out that much. There's always something you can get down onto the board, which is kind of decent. And the Young Witch with Lulu, who's our first champion, becomes a 4/4 elusive, which is fantastic. I mean, that's fantastic. So Lulu will level up very quickly with the amount of supports that are in here. That needs supported. That is a support. That's a support. Young Witch is a support. Lulu is a support. Trevor Snoozebottom is a support. So you only need to support 3 times to level up Lulu. Once you level up that, you get help picks, which gives an ally barrier or an enemy vulnerable. And most people kind of put the barrier on because they don't want Lulu to die. To be honest, once you get it, put it on the Vi, because the barrier can be amazing in defense, because people will try, Shadow Elves will try and vengeance it and all this kind of carry on, or sunburst it against something like that. That will actually stop this altogether. So she's your main win condition, along with Trevor's lovely Mumble. So, I mean, this guy has won me 2 games by himself, backing up Vi, with Vi dying. I threw it into a Hecarim, knowing that the Hecarim was going to die. But it comes out at the end. Now, the buff only comes out at the end. So, for instance, if you've got this as a 5/2, because it's been supported, if you're supporting the Flower Child with Trevor Snoozebottom, he's only going to give you a 3-2 because the buff happens first and then the card appears at the end and it is whatever it was at the time of the attack. So there's loads of supports in here. So there are. And you know what? Let's actually, you know, let's keep going. So how do we keep things alive? Well, Twin Disciplines used to be the best card in Ionia. It's no longer, but very good for that extra attack or the extra defense to keep things alive. So you can actually throw things out against something that's got a bigger attack, block it off, stop it doing any damage. Really good against overwhelm units, really handy across the board. Again, it is just a 2 of, just like Concussive Palm is. So stop that huge big unit from Freljord deciding to come in. Oh, look, there is a massively overwhelmed Trundle coming straight at you. Oh, dear. You know, stop all this nonsense altogether. Now, remember, this is a fast spell. So what about Asol? Okay. Well, Asol's kind of dropping out of the meta at times, but let's just kind of get this nice and easy. You can fire a Mystic Shot at fast speed after you have played Concussive Palm. So cast a Concussive Palm at 4, hit the Mystic Shot for 2. Yes, you'll need the 6 mana, but to be able to pop that shield and then stun him, or a massive dragon coming in, like Anthelius Fox, or any of the invoked celestial ones from Targon, brilliant to stop them getting an extra random dragon in their hand. Again, just a 2 of, because we don't want to be pulling, we don't want all these bricking up our hands. A lot of people say that doing a lot of 2 of is wrong. It's right in the right deck, and I think this is the right deck to be running this many 2 ofs. We're also running 2 denies. No, you're not stopping that. No, you can't. No, absolutely, you cannot cast that under any circumstances whatsoever. We're running 2 denies of for that as well. Then we've got a full board of Fey Guide. Again, you're granting an ally elusive. So, should we make this elusive? Because, I mean, you know, to be fair, this is exactly how the deck wins. And Fey Guide is, when you play it, you just pick the unit that you want it to be permanently elusive. Which, if you put that onto Vi, the game's done. Like, the game is done, because every time that you play an extra card, including that one, that's one more extra power. She'll level up real fast as well. The whole idea of this is Trevor bumping up Vi to get the best stats in this deck that we have. Because, you know, Vi's only a 2/4. She never comes out that early and that weak. Not ever. You know, by round 5, if you've got her in hand from like even round 2 or 3, she's at least a 4/4 or a 5/4. And then, you know, that into this to get 10 damage in, and then get another one, hold back a bit, don't block with it, smack, go again. You've won in 3 rounds. As long as you get, you know, Vi up to 5. That's how easy this deck can win. So it's a mixture of ground units to block, a few tricks of spells to kind of keep things going, which is hugely important in the mid game. Because in the mid game, you need to be building up Vi a lot. Now, we have a lot of things that can make people elusive, as you have seen. So there are tons of ways that we can just skip past the land units, smack really, really hard. And, you know, if she is on 7, for instance, if Vi is on 7, and you have the Twin Disciplines, hit for the 10, she will instantly level, and then she's doing an extra 5, and Vi just by herself can then win if she has been made elusive, which is just bonkers. Completely bonkers. This is such a groovy deck to play. Anything else to kind of keep them alive? Well, yes. We have got the Fuzzy Caretaker. Again, another support. Another support. When it's supported, he's a 3/6, and then he gives +3 to the other, so you could put that beside Vi to put her from the 7 to the 10 to smack something, because she's challenger, she smacks it. Is brilliant, all good. Really, really, really good. So there's an awful lot of ways and tricks and lines that you can take in this deck. And my suggestion is take the deck code and test it out. And no 3 games will be the same. Like they're just not. I'm not even saying no 2 game. No 3 games will be the same because sometimes you'll need to use Lulu to make them to a 4/4 with their support, which is brilliant with Young Witch at the start of the game. But then later on, if you make Trevor a 4/4 and then put that beside Vi, and then you get a 6/4. It's just brilliant. It's just really, really good. But to keep things alive, I'm running 2 Spirit Refuges. You give an ally barrier and lifesteal. A great, great, great spell for 4 mana from Ionia. Obviously, R3 Vi as our second champion to combine with the ever lovely Lulu. And things are going to die, guys. Lulu will die. Trevor will die. The Fae Guide will die. Things will go, but you're going to be hitting things so much that's a play. Grant an ally elusive. Your Vi's just hitting for every single time that she can. But Trevor's the main guy. He is the main guy. But what about the one unit you can't deal with? So say you're playing TF Swain and you have to get rid of Swain. You have to get rid of Swain. Well, the last 2 cards in the elusive support Trevor deck is Will of Ionia. And we're running 2 of. So that is my Trevor Snooze Bottom Ionia PNZ elusive support deck. I genuinely hope you guys play this out and let me know either in the Discord of the Dongers of Runeterra or in the pinned comments below or any of the social media links which are also down there too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you test this out. It's actually quite competitive. I'd say it's probably tier 2, but test it, change cards. That's what we do. So there's an idea. There is a brand new deck. There's somebody you've probably never played with. My name is Seth Holocron. We're from the Dongers of Runeterra. And until the next one, thanks for watching. Dongers out.